Hello and welcome to the channel. It's Erad and Star Citizen Alpha 3.23 is around the corner, but still in the PTU we still have some patches, but it is expected to be coming out probably this week. But that also means that Star Citizen Alpha 3.23 is going to come with its lot of issues. This is something that the developers have been trying to warn us for quite some time already, including on Star Citizen Live and inside Star Citizen. And there are a couple of issues that I think you guys need to be aware before you jump into the new patch when it comes in. But before we start, guys, a big shout out to all of you. You guys have been liking the videos and commenting like crazy, and this has really helped with the YouTube algorithm. So thank you so much. Let's keep on doing that, guys. The channel is doing great and I really appreciate. I also appreciate the support to send me to SeasonCon. We are almost halfway through our target, and if you too want to help out, you'll have the link in the description down below. So, what's going on here with Star Citizen Alpha 3.23? What are the issues that we should be expecting when this patch releases? Well, there's one already that has been there since the very beginning of the 3.23 cycle here. This is about crash recovery, which will remove all current missions and mark them as abandoned. This will not reduce reputation, however, when this is going to occur, but it is going to cause perhaps some trespassing issues if we are at underground facilities. Of course, eventually, further down the line, CIG want us to continue our missions even though we have a 30k and even though we still have a server that recovers from a crash, but as of right now, it's not always working. Now, I have been in a couple of instances in which my missions were actually recovering as well. So what we are seeing in the patch notes is actually not always true, but nevertheless, you should expect it to not work rather than working most of the time. Next, I would like to talk about Vulcan, which is still in beta mode in the PTU right now, but Vulcan does improve your frames per second. That is undeniable, but I've also noticed that sometimes textures seem to be missing. Perhaps shaders are also missing with Vulcan, and this is particularly true with planetary surfaces, especially on Macrotech, where visual fidelity is not as good as what you can benefit from if you do not have Vulcan activated. So that's also something that we should expect to improve further down the line. We also have sometimes issues with elevators. Now, CIG definitely need to fix those because that's game breaking, but this is also something that may be coming in right now. Sometimes the doors remain closed, that there is no courage, and this is something that we have seen for weeks and weeks and weeks, and the devs really seem to have issues fixing that. The next issue I would like to mention is something that has been present since the very beginning of the Alpha 3.23 testing, but to CIG's credit, it's something that has become much better, so much better than what it used to be during the very first patches in the ePTU, but still nevertheless is happening and is still annoying. So if you haven't tried a PTU, this is something that you should be expecting. There is an interaction delay, so that means that sometimes, especially when the servers are not doing so well and they don't communicate with the replication layer so well, sometimes there's a delay between the moment you touch your keyboard or your key and then the actual action in the game. It can be a few seconds, but sometimes it can be like half a minute. So it's really random. It's not happening all the time, but when it does happen, it's very noticeable and it's very annoying. But then eventually it goes away and then it comes back again. So if that's the case for you, you're just going to have to be patient. It's something that CIG are aware of. It's something that is actually expected for this patch. Remember, it's the first patch that we're going to have with the replication layer, but it's something that CIG are eventually going to clean up over time. We just need to give them some extra time for that. There have also been some serious issues with combat missions recently, especially when you are doing the lawful combat missions and you are destroying your target. Very often right now you are getting a crime stat while you are not supposed to be getting a crime stat. Even if you are destroying some red targets or some red targets become white targets, that means that they are not considered criminal anymore, and this is very immersion breaking and game breaking, and this is something that CIG definitely need to fix. But we've seen CIG releasing full patches in the live server with these kind of issues, so maybe this is something that it just can't fix right now and that they need the live server data to fix that. This is also something that they told us in Star Citizen Live, is that some of the issues cannot be fixed in the PTU simply because they don't have enough data, or they're just not so sure that the fixes that are going to be applying are going to be the correct one, and that's why they need to be releasing patches in the live servers with these issues so that then they can know exactly what fixes to apply. The next issue I will talk here, and it's probably going to be the last for this video, is something that concerns criminals, or at least those who end up in Klescher. Yeah, you might end up in Klescher for actually doing legal missions, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. Well, there's quite an annoying issue in Klescher, is that you are actually spawning without your backpack or any equipment for that matter. So if you thought, oh, it's okay, I'm gonna kill myself, I'll be at Klescher, I'll just go do a few missions at Klescher, or I'll just do some mining at Klescher. Well, you can't, because you don't even have a multi-tool and don't even have a backpack, so that's also very annoying. Now, sure, you can relog and it may appear, but it's not always the case, and it's very frustrating. That's also something that CIG need to fix. So yeah, it's actually not that great, but again, it is to be expected. Do not expect 3.23 to be a flawless experience. It's something that's going to be iterated on. It's something that we should be expecting. That's what happens when we have some new technologies like the replication layer, which are completely going to change the way that the game runs. That is all for this video. If there's any other issues that you've noticed in 3.23 that you find particularly annoying that CIG have not fixed, please let me know in the comment section down below as well. It's always a good thing to let the community aware of what is happening. I will want to thank also my Patreon and YouTube members for keeping the lights on, including Dr. Forbin, Zero Crusher, Deplorable Fidel, and Ducky2Ducker. I have been Erad. I'll see you guys in the next one.
They are still way too fast, and I'm on the blacklist.